Okay, so how you doing, everybody? Now, it's time. The time has come to discuss Infinite Warfare. Let's get all touchy-feely over the game and share our feelings and our emotions, because the time is here. The time is nigh, and my feelings and emotion are going to be very clear in a moment. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, which if you don't, then you bloody well should do, because I can't think of a reason to give you, but just follow me on Twitter. It's always handy. But any of those who follow me on Twitter will probably see, if they looked, that I did a tweet last week. I believe it was last Saturday or Sunday, and I basically said I've taken Infinite Warfare back. You know, I bought it on the Friday, I took it back on the Saturday, and that for me is an ultimate world record. So I guess you can probably see where this commentary is going to go already. But basically what I want to say is, if you're one of these people that like Infinite Warfare, if it's for you, if it's you imagine you're sitting, it's like I have an idea about the kind of Call of Duty I want. So the kind of Call of Duty I want is like a Call of Duty 4/Modern Warfare 2, but it's almost perfect, and I wish I could just create it and do it and be part of it, but I can't. I have to almost take what's given to me, as we all do. So if you're one of these people that this is the kind of vision you had, you thought, I want to be in space, flying spaceships, I want to kill somebody and I want them to float up to the ceiling, and when I walk around a corner and see a dead body floating there, I want to have a jump scare and shoot it, thinking that it's one of the many people wall running or something. If those were your ideas of the game that you wanted this year, then great. I'm not going to say whatever. I'm not going to say, Carl, what are you thinking, people? I'm going to say, good for you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you like it. It's your opinion. This is my opinion. Opinions are like arseholes. We all have one. But I'm afraid to say that my opinion is, and this is just personal to me, Infinite Warfare is probably the worst Call of Duty I've ever played in my life, and I'm really sad about that, because I didn't talk about the beta. I didn't have a chance to because I wasn't uploading. Anybody who wonders where I've been, by the way, if this is the first video of mine you've stumbled across for a bit, I've been away for a bit. If you want to go to the last video that I did, which shouldn't be hard to find because it's the only one I've uploaded in like 3 months, but yeah, if you want to go and find out where I've been, that will be somewhere else. I'll put the link somewhere and you can find it. But as far as progressing forward with this one, I didn't like the beta. It wasn't for me. It wasn't my bag. I could kind of see where it was going. I think more than anything, I was disappointed with the beta, because on the day that the beta was released, I came home from work, but at work I was watching this YouTube video from a chap, one of the overpowered guys, I can't remember which one, but he was basically saying, this is the best gun I've ever used, unbelievable, greatest gun in any Call of Duty I've ever used. And I thought, it looks good, it sounds good, I like the sound of it, I'm looking forward to this, and his gameplay was unbelievable. I know the guy's good, but his gameplay looked really good. Bearing in mind it's on a LAN connection though, so that obviously makes a massive difference. But I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. When the beta was released, I just thought, wow, I'm not interested. I got bored of it very, very quickly and turned my attention to something else. I think it was Battlefield 1 had just come out and I started playing that, and I didn't really look back. But I gave it a chance, I didn't want to I'm not one of these people that will just take something upon face value and go, that's not for me. I like to put the time and effort in and decide if it grows on me, and unfortunately it didn't. I really don't think I feel like buying it again unless something massive changes. But I'm going to talk about the reasons why I didn't like it and the reasons why I think the game has actually gone backwards, and hopefully you can relate, and if you've got a few ideas of your own, then put them in the comment section and let's discuss. But basically for me, it just felt like every sort of dedicated server that I dropped onto was absolutely cancerous. They were awful. The connections were so bad. The character movement was just, it didn't seem, from what my eye was seeing, didn't seem to be what was happening to me on screen. It's quite a bizarre thing, but yeah, the gameplay I'll put in the background would be showcasing me just having a major bit of difficulty with the connection, just so laggy, it's unbelievable. But even the ones that weren't laggy, even the ones that felt like they ran smooth, I don't know, I was getting my ass kicked a lot. It was just people in the lobby. You get some people, you get the few stragglers at the bottom who are struggling to keep up, and then you get the guys at the top. You always have about 2 or 3 who end up about 40 for 4, and they have a good game. Their streaks are dominating, they're dominating, they've got a cracking kill-death ratio, they know what they're doing. It didn't seem as though I came across anybody like that. Even on my side of the fence, even on my team, even though we were winning some games, I was looking through the leaderboards, it was like nobody's really done that well. Everybody's almost matched their deaths with their kills. It's like, I don't know, it just felt as if everybody was having the same experience, and that still seems to be carrying on, still seemed to carry on throughout the time of the very short time I had it. Now, that said, the other thing that I felt with it was that what was happening to me didn't seem as though it was happening with everybody else. It felt very sluggish. Now, I don't mind that. I've been saying for quite a long time that I wouldn't mind something a little bit more slower paced, Sometimes it feels that Call of Duty gets a little bit too try-hard and hectic and very sweaty, and I wanted something a little bit more laid back. You know, you can still sweat it out on a slower paced game. Look at Battlefield. Battlefield is quite slow paced, but you can sweat the hell out of it, and it's almost more recognisable as being a bit of a skill. But the movements were slow for me, but it seemed like for everybody else, people were moving at such pace that I couldn't keep up with it, you know. And the one thing I don't like what they've done with Call of Duty, this is just a mild observation of mine and a little bugbear that I have, but the movement is related to obviously the sort of sensitivity that you have. Now, once upon a time you'd say I want 3 sensitivity slow, or if I like to be somebody who likes to be a bit more on the ball, rush around, I like to turn corners and know who's there, then you'd go for like 5, 6, 7, or even on Black Ops 2 I used to play on like an 8 and 9 sensitivity, and that was with submachine guns, and it always felt like my aim was good. It felt like I never had a problem. The aim wasn't affected by my sensitivity. If I aimed at somebody and shot at them, it stayed on point until I'd finished shooting them. Whereas now it feels that that's not the case. It's like you have to have this aim sensitivity, you have to have this movement sensitivity with your horizontal and your vertical, but it also massively affects your aim. So even though I want to be the kind of guy who's running around and turning corners and being very quick, hopefully quicker than the other people, when I do come to point my gun at their face, it's like, whoa, you know, lack of control here. Got fast speeds, but also have fast movements with my weapons, and that is not working out for me because it doesn't stay on target. So I've never fiddled around with sensitivity so much as to one thing I'd think it was okay, and then I'd reduce it down and it'd be like, no, it's too slow. You know, that stupid robot, that second choice of Merc, whatever his name is, I don't know what he is, but you know, the robot with the akimbo weapons on each hand, you know, the dual guns that look absolutely shit. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's going to be my other thing. But basically, his sort of bonus thing is that when you kill somebody, your movement speed accelerates straight after. And oh my fucking god, you need such speed to be able to keep up with him when you see him, because as soon as he's killed somebody he runs, you aim at him, he's almost off your screen. So you need to notch your sensitivity back up. And then when it's a slower pace game and you think people are going to be running at such pace and movement that you can't keep up with them, you fail because you just can't lock onto your target. But you know, that aside, that's just my own personal thing. But for me, the game itself with the graphics and everything else looks so dated. It looks so bad. You know, the characters just look awful. I think the guns, the specialist guns, like I say, that robot, it's like the scythe in Black Ops 3 just looked so mint compared to that thing. You know, the hand opening up and folding backwards and the turret coming out, and this thing has got 2 elongated rectangles under his arms that apparently fast-firing guns. Oh, I don't know. Listen, everything about the game just wasn't for me. It really wasn't. It was, there's better things I can spend my time playing, and it cost me a set of headphones. I'm really pissed off about that. I sort of pulled my headphones off in anger and ended up bending the audio plug-in bit. Oh god, just so annoyed. Graphically, it looked really dull and almost cloudy, if that makes any sense. And I feel that the whole system with the maps, the 3-lane system, where that's gone, I don't know. Call of Duty has always been renowned for having the 3-lane system, and the 3-lane system has always worked. My favourite is the right-hand lane. I'm right-handed, and for some reason I'd be naturally drawn to the right-hand lane. Whereas now it's like you've got 3 lanes with 3 lanes off those 3 lanes, and another 3 lanes that are potentially off those 3 lanes. So it's almost like a 25-lane system, and it's just nuts. You know, you're getting shot from above, back. I've never been killed in the back so much in a game as that game, and that to me proves that the lane system doesn't work anymore, and it's almost like skill has now completely gone out the window. I've always considered, I think I'm getting a bit slower in my reactions nowadays, but I've always considered myself to have an element of skill, and with that it's like you can't utilise it because you'll see a guy and go, oh, I've got you here, I saw you before you saw me and I knew you were going to be there, so I'm going to shoot. Oh my god, there's 5 of them behind me. Did they spawn behind me? Did they jump behind me? Or did they come out the elevated section in the floor, or the flying web across the side of, I don't know, there's too much going on, and it's sort of it rules out skill, and now it just becomes about being, what would be the best expression, luck of the draw. So I know this has gone on for quite a bit, and I'm sorry, there are so many more things I'd like to point out, but yeah, I just don't feel like the game was for me. And I'm going to say one thing now, and I'll stand by this, and I can't believe I am actually going to say this, but now going back and playing Black Ops 3 after this, I suddenly thought, you know what, it's got its flaws, but this is actually really fun and colourful and pleasant to look at and inviting and exciting, and I've done really well. I had a good game. Almost seems like sometimes the grass is a little bit greener on the other side and you want to climb over and eat it and suddenly realise that it's been pissed all over by, I don't know, a herd of cows with very bad bladder control and cystitis. So yeah, there we go, I got it off my chest at last. It feels good, I feel cleansed. Come, cleanse with me in the comments section. Let me know what you like about it or don't like about it or whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, much love. Apocalypse done.